And now, here's our host.
Hey fellow rock stars, Dr. Dan here, and in this video I'm going to show you a very powerful strategy using utilizing your email and also utilizing you definitely want to use the phone as well. I know a lot of you guys would just love, and I did in the beginning too, because I personally don't like to cold call. So I know that I was looking for every way I could to get around from cold calling, but after spending a lot of time sending out many emails blindly and then even testing out sending out letters and stuff, that works great for some people. They enjoy it. It's very boring for me. I get very bored real quickly. So after I stuff like 20 or 30 envelopes, I'm like, okay, I'm kind of over this. So I actually have my other strategies, which I've already shared with some of you guys. But for this strategy, and I use this, so when you're watching me do this, understand that you can tweak this. And I mean, your mind might already be going as soon as I start showing you some stuff. You might be thinking, oh, damn, I can hook this up with something else I'm doing. Or I learned this other strategy, or I'm doing something, and why don't I use it for this as well? So I'll kind of run through that with you as we go along for this. But this is a very powerful strategy if used correctly. To get new clients, or just if you want to basically track and see if they're open your emails, in case you like. I used to use this a lot when I would send out a proposal to a potential client. And in the beginning, I remember I was sending out emails, and blindly without having any tracking or anything like that. And they would actually, I would send out the email and I'd be like wondering, dude, did they get it? Did they get it? And then I might like, well, do I want to send another one? I don't want to sound too eager, or like I really need them. I don't want to drive them away. And it's funny, it kind of sounds like dating, huh? Like in that movie Swingers, when the guy's like, should I call him? No, you're supposed to wait for like, should I call her? You're supposed to wait like 5 days or whatever, or 3 days. I forgot what the rule was. But he ended up calling that night when she was asleep, and he left like 4 or 5 messages because the answer machine kept cutting him off. So then eventually he called back to try and leave the phone number, and the girl answered, and he's like, "Oh, you are there," and she said, "Don't ever call me again." But anyway, so I didn't want that to happen in my business, so I was very worried about that. So using the strategy that I'm going to show you right now, this is another way that you can send out those emails. I remember one proposal I sent out the first time that I used it. All of a sudden I started getting, messages saying they opened it. So I knew they opened it from their BlackBerry. I knew they opened it from their home computer, then their work computer. They had opened it like 5 or 6 times before they ended up signing up with me, which was in the course of about 3 or 4 days. But I didn't have to think about, did they get the email or didn't they? Because I know that they opened it and they were checking it, meaning that they went back to relook at my proposal over and over again, which is really cool. So that let me know that they're really hot, and I even, I'll get into that as we, I don't want you to sit here and just look at my logo while I'm talking. So we got all these windows ready for you to take a look at. So all right, so the first thing that I recommend doing is signing up for Gmail. So I don't know if you already have a Gmail account. I probably recommend, and again, this is going to be different for each of you depending on how you're going to use this strategy. I recommend getting a brand new Gmail account so you can keep everything separate. That's just my recommendation. Now, I've used it for both. For getting new clients, I've used a brand new Gmail account because I didn't want to, combine it with my Guru Media Marketing, because I didn't want it to look like it was coming from a company. I wanted to come from a person, so it looked like maybe I was a customer. So then they'd more likely open my email, because if they saw the email and it said Dr. Dan at GuruMediaMarketing.com, then instantly they're thinking company, business, selling me crap. It's going to be some people saying, "I get you first page Google #1." You like my accent right there? It was a little Middle Eastern with some Indian in there. I don't know, but yeah. So the first thing I recommend doing is, if you're going to use it to get new clients, I probably recommend making it look like it's a person. So putting your first name and something at whatever, or at Gmail, obviously. And if you're just going to use this for, tracking, how many times they open your proposal, things like that, then you could use your company email because, it's not the first time you sent them an email or they're expecting your email. So it's a little bit different. So I use it for both ways. So go ahead and set up an account. You just go to gmail.com and it'll take you here. And then you just create an account, fill in the information. And this is, again, you can put in your real name. You can, perceive yourself as a large company by making an alias, which would be your assistant, which I've used in the past when I wanted to make my company look bigger. I started making names, like I'm like, okay, it's Andrea. Andrea is my personal assistant, and stuff like that. So it kind of worked out pretty well. So just go and fill that information, and the desired login name is where you'd put in whatever name you want to use. So let's say if you wanted to be, I don't know if you're a guy, then, let's say it's Joe, and I believe you could even do dots. Yeah, you can do dots with Gmail. You can't do dashes in that. If you do that, then you can, obviously if you did Joe 007, it's pretty much guaranteed that somebody already has that. See, so it gives you some suggestions. So it's up to you. I mean, you could do Joe and then try with a dot and see. No, that's not even there. But they ignore periods when checking usernames. Interesting. All right, so not really sure how that works. So anyways, so like I think I used DocDan, I think 7 or something like that. I don't know. I'll show you when I logged in. But, making it look like it's a real person opposed to a company would definitely be a benefit when it comes to this. Now, as far as logging in, so we're going to go ahead and log in. Oh, it's DocDan 70. That's the one that I made. Also, another thing, too, is if you'll notice that my little, windows, right, or not the windows, but the little fields are actually red right here. I have a little red thing. You can see this up here too. It's called LastPass. And if you don't already have LastPass set up, then you definitely should get LastPass set up. It is a really great tool. It's kind of like RoboForm, but it saves all your passwords to all your sites. So for instance, if I came over here to Hootsuite, it's going to save all the passwords that you've saved. So I know your keychain or whatever, browser or whatever system you're using. I'm on a Mac. And again, LastPass works both on Mac and Windows and also on the iPhone. And I believe they have an Android app, if I'm not mistaken. I'm not sure, not 100% sure on that, but they do have it for the iPhone as well. So you just have one central password. And once you log into that, then it'll log into all of your accounts for you and everything is saved locally, I believe. So again, I'm not a techie guy, so go to LastPass.com. I believe it's LastPass.com. Let me check. LastPass.com, but it saves you so much time. Yeah, so it's just LastPass.com, and then you can go over here and you can actually read through here and see what it's all about and what they're doing. But I've only had one problem with them in over a year that I've been using them, and it was fixed really easily. So not a big issue. And then you could download it. And then they have a premium, which is $1 a month, and charge you for a whole year. I think it's $12. There's no difference between the two as far as the function, how it works. So the free one works great, and it works on, I believe it. Oh, actually, we can just look right here. Why would I even try and guess? I was trying to see where. Oh, here's all the browsers that it supports. So supports pretty much all of them. I mean, lots of them, including Google Chrome for a lot of you guys use. You got the iPhone and you got the Android as well, and BlackBerry. So yeah, definitely a very, very strong tool. I love it because when you want to sign up for something as well, you can actually save custom fields. So if you, for instance, want to purchase something from a company and it asks you for your shipping address, you can actually select. So if there was any fields in here for me to select, I could right mouse click and it'll also show up here usually. And I can do LastPass fill forms, and I can actually just, choose this. Let's see. This is Guru Media Marketing fill form, and it'll put my company address right there and all the information that I saved. And you could even do billing information and stuff like that. So very, very powerful. I love it. And to give you an example, so logging in for the logins that I've saved for Hootsuite, I click it, autofill, and it gives me the ones that I actually have saved in here. So if I want to, log into my my real estate Rockstar one or my offline Rockstar, I'll click that right there. Just put them all in there. I can do secure login, and now it's just logging me in. So really, really cool. And you can choose what you want saved and what you don't want saved. So again, it's up to you. So that was just a little advice right there. So, okay, so let's go ahead and log into DocDan to my Gmail. So I actually use this as a test account, and I've deleted a lot of the emails. And so I just left one in here for you guys to give you guys a quick example of what this looks like. So the first thing for the strategy, if we're going to use this to get customers, now obviously you might have your own way that you scrape and you search the web for customers and things like that. So again, I'm not going to tell you to not do that. If it's working for you, then just combine this strategy with what you're doing already and kind of tweak it to any way you want. So to make this work. So for this strategy, I'm going to show you there's two places that I would go. One would be Craigslist and the other would be Backpages. So both these are actually great sites for finding clients and customers. So what I'd recommend is first, I mean, again, I don't know what city you want to target. You don't have to target, the city that you live in for this strategy, which is great. Unless you do want to meet with clients in person, then that would obviously be a little different. But if you're not meeting with them in person, then obviously you can target anywhere. So right now I'm using the San Francisco Bay Area, which is, my area, but you can choose New York, you can choose wherever. I mean, you can choose out of the country if you want to, you can choose Canada if that's where you want to target. And that's one of the things that I love about this strategy. So the first thing is you're going to go look over for services. So if you already know the niche that you want to target, if you want to target multiple niches, I mean, it's completely up to you. If you're looking for a niche, again, I'm not going to go through how to find a niche, but I mean, you could just click on that services right there. If you saw that, instead of me choosing one of these, I just choose services. And I kind of scroll through here and think, what, drywall seems like a company that, something that I want to target. And if you're using my Google Love method, leasing sites out or doing the Google Love service for people that already have a pre-existing site, or again leasing the site out, that's how you could use a strategy to send to these people. So if I had a site created already for, let's say, family law divorce lawyers, I could actually contact this person and send them a sample of my site that I already created and send it to all the people that are divorce attorneys in here. And that's one of the strategies that I have used as well. So that'll work. And if you already know the person that you want to target. So for instance, in this one, and again, it's going to be different for everybody as far as like who you're going to target. I've targeted, painters, I've targeted plumbers, I've targeted, realtors and mortgage brokers, and I like them all. So I've had the most success with real estate because I do seminars and I have a lot of networks now that I've created in the real estate. Now, does that mean they're the best to target? No, not necessarily. I'm just saying that that's who I got in with. So if I had connections in the painting business from the get-go, I probably would have targeted that more. But in this example, I'm going to show you, let's go painters, which would be under skilled trade. And I can go through here and look, or I can actually just, and again, I'm in the whole area instead of just one specific, and I can type in painter or painting, you can go and check. So this gives me 361 results. And that should be fine to start. And again, if we're going into different, areas, like I can go to Sacramento, I can go to Los Angeles, San Diego. I mean, I can go all over the place. So right here is a house painter. This is Alex. So, and he's in Benicia and Vallejo. And so I'm just going to go ahead and click on that. And you can see that he has his email in here. So that's nice. If he doesn't have his email and you can reply to this ad, then that's what I would do. So, I mean, and again, if they don't have any of those, any contact information, you can go to their website and just click on that and use either their contact form. But then if you use their contact form, you can't actually track it with the strategy that I'm going to share with you. But you can if they have an email on the website or something like that. So the next thing we're going to do is we are going to use this email right here. And I'm going to open up the next window. And I'm going to share with you the tool, which is actually a free tool, and it's called SpyPig. So my bookmark was on the wrong page. So just go to spypig.com, and then once you're there, I mean, it's real simple. You can actually sign up for an account, or you don't have to. I don't remember the advantages of using an account and not using an account. I think when you use an account, it just saves your email right here, so you don't have to keep typing in your own email that you want to go into. So not a huge deal. Let me see if my sign in is in there. So cool. So we'll go ahead and do that. But it's saving my Guru Media Marketing email, which isn't the one that I was going to use, but oh well. So whether you create an account or not, completely up to you. Again, this is free, which is great. Okay, so what I'm going to do, let me go ahead and erase this right here. I'm actually going to log out, so that way I don't have a problem with that. Let's go back to SpyPig, just like that. So I'm going to go ahead and put in my email, which is this one that we're using. So I'm just going to copy that. Backspace, so I don't have any problems there. And then what we're going to do now is first, here's what we need to do. First, we're going to go back to Gmail, compose a new email. And I use canned responses, which I don't know if you guys have never used canned responses, and I know I'm kind of going back and forth here, but that's okay because you're following along and learning as we're going. And I didn't want to map this puppy out. I just wanted to kind of get it out. Otherwise, I'd never get it out. So if you're not using canned responses, then you should be. And that's one of the reasons why I love Gmail. So what I can do is I can type out a message, and instead of having to copy and paste this from like a Word document or whatever, I can actually just create a new canned response. And here's some that I've already actually created, and this is the one that I'm going to share with you. And again, feel free to tweak this any way that works for you. Don't just copy and paste what I'm using, because otherwise everybody's using the exact same thing, and then it's not going to work. If everybody's messaging, the exact same words I use, and that's why I don't provide templates typically, because I don't want people to contact me saying, I tried your template and it didn't work, because I tried templates in the past and it didn't work. It wasn't until I actually customized it myself. I mean, you could use some as an outline and kind of just use the flow or whatever, but don't ever copy something word for word, because it's just not going to work. So here's the one that I created, and I put an image from my Google Love service that I offer. And this is actually me attempting to lease out this site by sending it out to local painters, to Pleasanton house painters. Now, if I was to target out of the area painters, I can still use this image and just say, see what I did for, see the results I'm getting for my clients. This one's for Pleasanton house painters, and you can see that I own the entire first page. And if you guys don't already have my Google Love and you're not going through that yet, then you definitely should get that, so that way you could learn how to do this. That way you're not just sending them, I can get you on the first page, but you're not showing them any results, right? And then here I just kind of go through, some of the results. If they do a live search, I'm just kind of testing this out. You don't have to do this. This is just something I just started, testing out. And yeah, so then I have all the information. And I'll give you guys a copy of what I wrote right here, and you guys can kind of tweak it. Do not use it word for word. I'm just, saying that's not the best way of doing it. So that's a canned response. And you saw how quick I was able to do that. And I can even have an image in there as well. So a few things in order to do that. Let me show you real quick. So we're going to go ahead and discard this. And again, if you don't want to learn how to do this, or if you already have this set up and you already know how to do this, then you can go ahead and just fast forward through this video and you don't have to watch this. So, okay. So the way it's set up in here, they changed it not too long ago. It's called Google Labs. So once you have this set up, and obviously I already have it set up, you just click here in this little sprocket thing right there, and you just click Labs. I think there was another way on the corner over here somewhere too as well. Or maybe it was up here. Maybe it was. Was it there? No. All right. I remember seeing it somewhere else as well. So What you can do in Google Labs is right now I have, see, here's canned responses. So it's usually on disable, so you just need to enable it. And again, these are mine that I've already enabled. So they're normally not at the top. They're normally somewhere in this list. So if you're seeing mine at the top and you're wondering why can't you find yours, it's in that list. And I don't know, I think it's actually in alphabetical. Yeah, it's in alphabetical order, so it should be somewhere around here. But canned responses, enable it. And then inserting images, enable that. That's the one that allows me to put an image inside of the Google page, which is really cool. And then undo send. I love this. It's saved my life so many times because, I'm one that don't like to go back and reread emails or anything like that before I send them out. I just send them out because otherwise you end up going back and forth, reading this, checking that. And, I'm just one that just likes to, that's actually one of my RockStar lessons, leap first and the net will appear. Just do it. Just get it done. Take action, and that's how you're going to get results. So there's been times that I send out an email and instantly I remembered I forgot to CC somebody on it, or I forgot to add a web page to it, or I forgot to delete it, or something. There was just something that needed to be in there or out of there. So by enabling undo send, when you send an email to somebody, it'll pop up just like this, and it'll say sending, and then you can actually click cancel while it's sending for the first, 5 or 10 seconds or something. So it's kind of like it's about to send it, but it pauses before it sends it and gives you an opportunity to hit stop, which is really cool. So I love that. Then there's some other tools in here too that you can kind of skim through and see if there's anything that you like. I think I usually have this one, default text styling. On my main email, I actually have this one enabled because I like to use the comic font as my main font. And there's tons of different things that you can actually do in here. You could really just go overboard with some of the things that they actually have in here. Sender time zone, signature tweaks. I use this on my main email as well. Not on this one. So then you just click save changes. So once you do that, it will take you back to the page. And actually, I might as well show you one other thing. I don't know if you guys have probably already seen this or maybe you haven't. Go back to Labs, and you can actually change the themes. So if you don't like the plain Jane theme and you want to kind of upgrade it, I've used this desk one a lot. I love using the desk, honestly. It's the one I use. I like it. It's kind of cool. So see, now I have actually a desk background. So on this one, I didn't do that mainly because I don't want to get it confused with my main account. Sometimes you log in and forget which one you're on, and then you go to it. And if they're all the desk, then I go, oh crap, that's not the desk one. What am I sending them an email from this place for, So kind of play with it. Whoops. Yeah, so you can see, you can kind of mess around and, let me see this terminal one. Haha, it's kind of cool. It's like I'm in the Matrix, the old school Matrix. So I'm just going to choose this blue one right here. How's that? All right. So now let's go ahead and go back to the email. I forgot where I'm going. Here, I'm just going to click there. Okay, click back on Gmail and I'm back. All right, so now we're in Gmail, and now we can actually go in order now that I've showed you how to set that up. Otherwise, while I did it, you'd be like, wait, how did he do that? And I don't want to have to backtrack. So now what we're going to do is we're going to go back to composing mail and getting this ready. And then I'm going to send this email to this guy right here. And I know he's in Valicia. He's in Vallejo and Benicia, which is outside of the Pleasanton area. But you can also send them, in the email copy. And what I wrote, let's see, I wrote in here that if you want a different city, then you can also, we can also do that city as well. So again, I'm just going to keep this for here. Actually, you know what? Let me change that. Painter, and then I'm actually going to choose East Bay. Let me go to Dublin, Pleasanton, Livermore. I want to stay kind of close to Pleasanton because these guys will service in different areas as well a lot of times. But just because I really am sending out this email and I don't feel like tweaking the email any, I'm just really niching down to the Pleasanton area, which there's only a few here. And probably if I typed in painting and kind of played around with it, I'd probably find more. But do you need a painter? Okay, so this guy's using an image ad. It's not clickable. What is he thinking? So you guys can be contacting this guy. I don't see. Okay, so he does have a reply to. So this would be a great example because this is a Craigslist reply opposed to the using their actual email. So either way will work. So in this example, we're going to just go ahead and copy this email right here. And I'm actually going to type, and this is going to go to, this is actually going to go to their email that they set up through Craigslist. So hopefully it's actually the painter and it's not like somebody doing the promoting for him. But either way, whatever. So we're going to set this up. Hopefully this guy doesn't call me because I don't need any new clients. So I put that in there. Oops, where am I going? Kind of all over the place. So I put in the email. This is the email from Craigslist. Then I want to type in whatever it is. Whatever it is that I want to put in the subject line. Now, I learned this from somebody else, and it does get my emails open, so I like to use this. So something to the effects of, I am looking for a Pleasanton painter. So you can type, I am looking for a Pleasanton painter. I'm looking for a Pleasanton painting company. I'm looking for a painter for the Pleasanton area. I mean, tweak it, mess around with it. But something like that's going to get people open, just like a realtor. Hey, I'm looking for a realtor in the San Ramon area. I'm looking for a realtor in the Pleasanton area. I'm looking for a real estate agent in the San Ramon. I'm looking for somebody that sells houses in Pleasanton. So, use your imagination. So hopefully I gave you guys some ideas on that. So once I type this up, and again, if you're thinking like, oh, but that's kind of deceitful because you're saying that you're looking for a Pleasanton painter, but you're, not looking for it. Well, you really are, because you are looking for a Pleasanton painter that wants to lease your site out or get your services or whatever it is that you're trying to offer them. So, so that is true. So you're not lying technically. And that's the business we're in, right? We're not lying. I mean, that's marketing, but, yeah. Okay. So once I filled this out, it's ready to go. So if I just sent it right now, I wouldn't have any way of tracking this, and I would never know if they opened it, and I wouldn't know if I should call them and follow up with them. But I do want to do that. And that's the strategy right here, is I want to email them and then I want to call them when they're hot and ready to get my phone call. Or warm, at least. Lukewarm. I call it lukewarm marketing because it's not hot. They're not a hot lead, but they're not a cold lead, because you know that they are interested because they've opened your email. So the next step now is we're going to go back to SpyPig. You put in the email that this is your email, that you want to get notifications of how many times they've opened, when they've opened it, and how many times they've opened your email. So you're going to start with your email. And then the number 2 step is the message title. Now here's the trick. If you're using Craigslist, you want to put in the actual URL as the subject line. That way you will know who it is that you're tracking, and you don't just put painter or the name of the company. Now, if I was targeting, company names, and I was finding them using Google Places to acquire my list of leads if I'm going to contact, or using some kind of scraper, then I would probably either put their URL of their actual website that I'm, contacting, or I'd put down just their company name, either one. But I definitely want something easy that I can just click on in my tracking so I know who it was. So once you put that in there, and a little bit of a warning, if you're using Craigslist and you're actually targeting people that have created an ad like over a week or something like that, just keep in mind that if you're targeting old ads on Craigslist, they will eventually expire. And I don't even remember if they renew them, if it'll still show up, or if it gives them a new URL. I don't know. So in case they don't, renew it, then when you click on that to see how many times it was open, then you wouldn't be able to actually see who was it that I sent that to. So that's just something to keep in mind. But again, I usually don't go after the old ads. I only go after the ones that have been posted in like 2 to 3 days max, somewhere around there. And there's plenty of them, especially if you're targeting different cities. So back to here. So we put in the URL into the message title. And now it's as simple as this. Actually, you know what? Let me do this first. Okay. So you've seen that down on this page. I've already went down to the bottom past my website, and I've clicked return a couple times because I'm going to put the little tracking code down here, and you just paste it down there, and that's it. So I want to make sure that in the past when I'm going really fast and I'm doing one after another one, I forget sometimes to go all the way to the bottom, but it's not a huge deal if you drop it somewhere else on the page. I just like to drop it at the bottom. So go back to SpyPig, and now we're going to go ahead and click. You could either use one of these if you want a little pig at the bottom. I prefer the blank image, and then I just click to create my SpyPig. Now you'll see it's counting down, so you want to wait to do this until you're ready to actually put it in there, because when it gets down to the bottom, when it gets down to 0, I honestly don't know what happens. I'm assuming that it just starts tracking your first email that you send out or something like that. So I actually just went there and dropped it in there, and you can actually see now it's right there, see? So I just dragged it with my mouse and just dropped it in there, and it was simple as that. And let me go ahead, and now I'm just going to send it. And there was a notification up here as well. It says as of July 11th, 2011 for Gmail users that you might get a false positive as far as sending it out. So the first send might actually bring back a false positive. Just saying that it was open, but it really wasn't open. I don't know. I haven't actually tested it since July to see if that happens. But you can copy and paste this. So you could actually just do this. Well, actually, let me use this actual pig so you can see. Whoops. You know what? Let me do test number 2. Create SpyPig. There we go. So now you're actually seeing a pig. So you can actually just hold down your mouse button and your left mouse button and just hover over it to kind of like select it, just like you were selecting an image, like that. And then you can right mouse click, copy image, I guess copy. So you would just copy, and then you probably can just paste it into the email too. Let me see. There you go. So I believe that will work, because that's what they were saying as well. So that you can actually just copy and paste. So if you just did that and did your Control-C or whatever it is on your keyboard, you can do that, or you should be able to just copy it from here and then just paste it directly in there. Now, personally, because I never tested to see if that's a problem, all I do honestly is, like I showed you, I just hold down my left mouse button and I just take it, so you can see I'm actually dragging it, and I just go up to my tab, hold it over the tab, and it opens the Gmail one. And then I don't want to drop it in here. I want to actually drop it on the page. I don't know if it'll make a difference if you put it in there. So anyways, I'm just sharing with you what I do, so that way you know. And again, feel free to test this any way you like. But you'll actually get messages back now. So now I will go to the next one, and the next one on my list right here. And let me make sure it's a different, that's the same one right there. Okay, so Brian Weaver. So we got Brian here. Let's go back down there. Looking for, see if he has an email in here. So he has an email. Unfortunately, I hate when they put the emails in the actual image. Yeah, kind of a pain in the butt for us, which is probably why these guys do it, right? So fine line construction 29. I'm assuming he's 29 years old, maybe. Okay, so fine line construction, copy it. So that's the email that I'm gonna paste to now, or that I'm gonna use now. Let me go ahead and remove this one. We're gonna do a brand new one, right? Let me discard that. Let's do another one. Let's go send. So that's gonna be his email right there. And again, let me do looking for a house painter in Pleasanton. Oops, what did I type right there? There we go. Let's misspelling there. And then do a canned response. I'm looking for a house painter. And I'm already down there selected. So this one's good to go as well. So now I can go back here and using SpyPig, I'm going to go ahead and copy the URL and pop that in there. My email's already there, which is great. I'm going to go ahead and do the invisible one again. Actually, you know, I'm just going to put a little pig down there for you guys so you can actually see it this time. Create my little piggy. I'm going to hover over there, hold it with the left mouse button, and I'm going to hold that left mouse button down, go over the tab, and now I am going to drop it down there. So now you can see my little piggies down there, which is really cool. Mr. Piggy's down there, and I can actually click send. And you can see right there, see, because I have that undo right here. So I could click undo, and it just opened it back up. See, remember I said if you have that gadget, that widget in the labs set up, so it actually just stopped it from sending out and then reopened it so I can make a quick edit. So now I'm going to send it back out again. So you can see how that could be a lifesaver. So now let's say I don't want to target Craigslist anymore, and Backpage would be the exact same thing. It'd be the exact same strategy. Let's say now I wanted to actually target, let's say just using either Google search. So house painter, Pleasanton. Let me do maps. Oh, did I spell something wrong? Oh, house pinter. Okay, so now I'm just in maps, and I can go through here. You can go through, let's say I see this one right here. They're in Brentwood, but they obviously want to target Pleasanton as well. So let's see, let's say I want to target this guy right here. Click on them. So I know that they are doing some marketing, so they do see the importance of marketing. And here's their website right here. I don't know if I see their email. Let's see if we can find it on here. So they have an estimate request form. That's the one thing about, using, going to their websites. A lot of times they don't even have their emails on their site. Contact. Yeah, so for here, they don't have an email. They just have a contact form. So obviously tracking this would not work. So you'd actually need to be contacting them. So that's one of the main reasons that, and I kind of tested this back and forth. I honestly personally like to use Craigslist and Backpages the most. The reason being is because it takes me a long time to go through these these websites. So I'm like, okay, I got to go there. Now I'm going to go look for another one. And let's say I'm going over here to KCL and Hayward. I click on them. Now I go to their website, and a lot of times they don't even have websites, which is good for you, obviously, but resources, interior. So I have to go through here, and I have to actually find where their damn email is. Okay, on this one, it's actually down here. So I did find it, but look how small that is down there. And it's like, and their phone number is down there. It's tiny. No phone number up here. They have their call center right here. So this is something great. You can contact these guys, if they open your email, or if you just want to cold call them and just say, hey, it's on your website, and I just want to give you guys some free tips on things that I would recommend doing that, have been working for my clients or whatever. And then just tell them your phone number should be at the top here. It should be the largest thing on there. Your hours of operation should be very large. The areas that you cover should be large and not just kind of mixed in with this other crap right here. Add a little map there or something of areas you service. So this is just an opportunity for you to open up and offer them some free advice. So after, you start contacting these guys via phone, it's up to you whether or not you're going to sell them from the beginning or offer them something for free. I always recommend offering something for free because I really just want to see if they're interested in opening my email more than once, and then I'll contact them. But if they do open it more than once, and when you call them, instead of just saying, "Hey, I sent you an email about signing up for my service," want to pay me? Instead, I always open the conversation with, "Hey, I was on your website. Hey, I checked out your marketing. Hey, I saw you on Craigslist, and I'd recommend doing a clickable image ad, to get more customers for you to really stand out and look a lot more professional. I can set that up for you for free. I can do your first one for free for you, just so you can try out my services to get to know the community kind of thing, giving back. I mean, whatever it is, because whatever it is you want to use as your offer. Again, I'm giving you a bunch of ideas here, so write these down. Use the one that works best for you. Don't just sit there and say, well, give me one way of doing this. And I know we all want just like one way of doing something, like just tell me exactly what to do and I'll do it. But that's just not the way this works, because if it worked that way, if I was able to give you some secret sauce or some secret, juice or secret silver bullet that worked, or a magic pill, then everybody'd be doing it. And if everybody was doing it, then you'd be making minimum wage in this business. So minimum wage would be, depending on what it is in your area, $7, $10. If you're in a different country, it could be as low as $1. I don't know. But I'm just saying that if it was that easy, then every single person would be doing it. And a lot of you guys, buying these products online from, forums and places like that, or products that are like $5, $10, $100, whatever. I mean, it's a steal, because you can get all this knowledge that you can utilize to make yourself thousands and thousands and thousands, six figures, and even some people making seven-figure incomes, learning some of these strategies and kind of tweaking them and using them. So I never want to hear anybody complain about buying a $5, $10, or even $100 product. I mean, there are some bad products out there, yes, but as long as you can get one good thing from it, then that's great. And again, I've never asked for a refund on a product. The only time I would ever ask for a refund on a product is if I didn't get at least one idea that I could use. And even then, I probably wouldn't ask for a refund unless I've purchased a product in the past and it was the exact same thing, just like rebranded or something like that. Then I would probably ask for a refund. I'm like, hey, this is almost exactly like the other one. Can I get a refund? I apologize. I mean, that'd be something different, but that would be the only time, and I've yet to come across that. Even though I have bought a product in the past from a forum, and they're from two different people, and they were exactly the same thing. I mean, even the script in there, the template was exactly the same thing. The only thing that set apart and kept me from asking for a refund is one of them did it a PDF, and the other actually did videos. And because the guy took the time to create videos going through them, and he kind of covered a couple things that I would have had questions about, but because he covered them in his video talking about them, I actually, I wasn't going to ask for a refund. I'm like, oh, well, dude, he, hooked it up, and I was able to get some ideas from it, so I didn't ask for a refund. Remember, guys, this is your education. You're learning how to do these things as you're going along, and, you wouldn't spend, $10 on an education at college, right, or a university. You would actually spend thousands and thousands and thousands of dollars, right? And you can't ask for a refund. You're like, hey, I didn't use that education, so I'd like to get a refund. That ain't going to happen. They'd laugh in your face. So the other thing I was going to show you as well is, oh, wait, what did I do? Oh, I just closed that. I apologize. I was just about to send out another email. So let's go back there. Again, this is kind of fun. We're doing this real time, guys. So now to send out to this guy, to these people, I'm going to go ahead and just do compose. And I'm going to put their email in here. So this is their email. And looking for a painter in Pleasanton. Why do I keep misspelling painter? Am I just writing it too fast? Canned response. Just like that. Hi there. So again, you could change this to their name if their name is in there. If not, just hi there, hey, whatever. I mean, however you want to basically do it. So now let's go ahead. Whoops. Go down to the bottom again. So that way I have that there. So it's ready for me to drop that image down. And now I'm going to save the URL. Go into SpyPig, paste that where I was doing the Craigslist, keeping the little piggy there. Now again, I usually use the blank one, but I'm going to go ahead and use the little piggy one for this example, so that way you can see it. And notice I didn't have to change the email again because I've left this open. I'm going to drag it, drop it there. Now Mr. Piggy's right there. So now I can go ahead and click send. And it's sent. So now if I wanted to go somewhere like, let's say, Backpage, I would do the same thing. I would actually just go look for in the area that I want to target, and I can go into home improvement, which is where painters are going to be, and painter search. And this time I'm not going to actually target it down to just Pleasanton, mainly because I already showed you that example and I don't really care. So this one right here is another one. They're using an image ad as well, and it is clickable because it'll take you to their website. You can see there. It's actually just one trick I always look to see if something is an image. I just actually just hover over it, hold down the left mouse button, and just drag to the side and see how it's kind of showing me that it's an image now. So I just let go, it goes back. I like to do that a lot to see if two images are combined or if they're separated. So now I know this is all one image and not separated. Wow. So they're really spamming, or whatever you want to call that. Holy crap. So this must be some new strategy that they learned, where they just put in every one of their every one of their pages that they created for every city and put a hyperlink into their site. Wow. Or anchor text for drywall contractor. I wonder where they learned that from. I'm surprised that Backpage let that many links in there. I know some of the companies, I don't know if it was Backpage or eBay Classified. Some of those sites, they only let you put 1 to 3 links, somewhere in between those. So, obviously, I'm assuming Backpage doesn't have that requirement, but because of these guys, they probably will soon. I just would not do that. That's just crazy. But yeah, crazy. So is there a way to contact these guys? I don't think there is. Email this ad. No, it's going to email it out to somebody else. So there's no reply in this actual email. So, or in this page. So you would actually have to go, if you wanted to contact these guys, unless they have the email in the image here, which I don't see. No. So you'd actually have to click on that link and it'll take you to their website. And then you can actually look for their email, which is right here, estimates. So that's the only email that they have, that I see at least there, right? So instead of using the back page, I don't need to use that now because I have their website as well. And we're going to go ahead and do compose, paste. Oops. Let's go ahead and... I'm kind of bouncing around here. I apologize. I don't have any specific order that I do stuff, as you can tell. I like to move around and switch things around, mainly because I don't like to get bored. So, and again, you can just copy and paste this subject line, so you don't have to keep typing it out. So it'll save you some time, just so you know. So we're down to the bottom here. Let's go ahead and put that in there. I'm going to do the blank one again this time. So just hover over, hold down left mouse button, go here, drop it in, and you can see it is there. And I'm going to click send. Simple as that. All right. So before I get back into that, so now I'm going to show you since I kind of moved around in different order and stuff, I'm going to go back to the exact order that we're actually going to do this in, okay? So let me go to Craigslist actually. Just so I can kind of go back into the flow, and maybe I'll create a little PDF for you guys because I know some of you guys are like, hey Dan, you should have gave us a Craigslist. No, Craigslist. Otherwise you end up with something else. It would have been nice if you gave us a little flow thing or something like that, but real simple. So first step, obviously set up a Gmail account, set up all the, the canned responses to make it faster. Second step is, or first step, after you set up your Gmail, you compose email. So you have that ready. Canned response. I'm looking for a house painter, whatever it is. Go down to the bottom, click there, type in, I am looking for a house painter. You don't even have to put the city name if you don't want, or you can, up to you. So now we've set this up. So this is all good. So that's step number one. Step number two, who are you going to market to? Skilled trades. Let me just type in painter this time. And let's go for this guy. Heating and air. Wow. I didn't realize heating and air does painting. It might have been something in his keywords there. House painting North Bay. There we go. So we're going to use these guys as long as they have a contact. They do right here. So no email, but they have this contact right here. And I'm going to take this. Whoops. I'm going to right mouse click, copy email, or depending on your email program, there is a way of setting up Gmail so you can just click on this and it'll actually open a Gmail box open, just like if you were using like Outlook or something like that. I don't remember what the program is called. I just upgraded my computer. I just bought a MacBook Air with Lion installed, so I haven't actually installed that plugin or add-on or whatever it is for Firefox. But yeah, I'll do that eventually. So if you want to do that, you could do that. Otherwise, if you click it, it'll try and open up your regular mail program. All right, so now I go back to Gmail after I got their email. So here's their email. Go back to Gmail, and I go ahead and paste that in there in the to field. And now I go back to the actual ad, copy it, the URL up here, and now I'm going to go back to SpyPig, and that's where I put in my email that I want to be notified. Don't put in their email, otherwise they'll be notified every time they open it. That'd be kind of funny. I select the blank one, create my pig, and then I just hover it, left mouse click, select, and hold on to it. And I just go up there and I just drop it down there, and it's right there. See? Simple as that. I click send, and it is now sent. So as simple as that. So I remember being on a webinar, and I've had the been very fortunate to be able to hang out with Jack Mize just recently in an event I went to in Las Vegas with RockStar Ben. So we were there and we got to hang out with a bunch of great people, really successful internet marketers, offline and internet. And one of them was Jack Mize. We actually did an interview, and we're going to be releasing a product next week as of the time of this video. So it's probably already released if you're listening later on. And we did a how to get customers and how to get clients series with a bunch of different offline marketers that are all over six figures easily. And Jack, and he even released this on a webinar that he did, and he talked about giving away stuff for free, and that's something I've been doing for a while, and I kind of stumbled on that myself. But he has a great strategy where he basically tells you to go to Craigslist back page, find these guys that have kind of an ugly ad, like this one is just one collection of images, which is better than the standard person, but then creating a nice clickable image ad for them that they can actually use in their own marketing, and then email it to them saying, hey, here's a free ad. I would love to, talk more, and here's your HTML for you to use it if you like, and then put your little branding at the bottom, created by Grew Media Marketing or whatever the name of your company is, at the very bottom of that ad that you created for them, the image ad. So make it a clickable image ad, and then you send it to them via email. And I would use the same strategy right here. I would actually instead just put that image in here, and then also the HTML for it, so they can actually use that. And then in the web copy, and again, get that course that we're going to be releasing real soon, and he actually goes into it a lot more in depth. And then hopefully we can get him to give you like his template that he uses as well, like what he writes out and how he writes that. But I'm just giving you an idea of how you can do this. And if you put that in this email and send it to those people, instead of just saying, hey, I want to sell you something, you're saying, hey, here's a free image ad for you to use for your marketing. Then put the the spy pig at the bottom, and then if they open the email. And then as a matter of fact, let's check this email real quick. I know we got one email as we were sitting here, but where's my refresh? There's my refresh. Interesting. I'm pressing it, but it doesn't look like anything's happening. I don't know. Let me look real quick right here. This is the beauty of doing live videos, huh? I believe there was actually a labs button here for refresh, and I don't remember if I had chose that or not. Okay, so that's the one I was thinking, is the refresh pop accounts, but I guess that would not matter because I don't have any pop accounts set up on this. I just have the Gmail account. So, but I went ahead and refreshed it in case I ever add another account on there. And I go like that. So really not going to do anything. Okay, so maybe if I don't know if this actually, because usually I'm used to seeing it going, doing a circular motion. So maybe I'll just refresh the page. Okay, so it did make a difference. I was just checking to see if anybody else had opened it up. So as you can see, while we were sitting here doing this video, this is already this 1-to-KCL painting, which was, as you can see, because I put in the email title their website, I'm able to say this is the one that just checked real quick. So now I go back and I can see that it was opened. Here's my IP address. And it shows that it's open from a different IP address. You can see that right there. And they have Comcast as well. And their location is in Hayward, or at least I don't know if that's their actual location or for Comcast. But open by recipient, 4 minutes, 5 seconds. And it also tells you the browser. So they're on a Windows NT. So you can see it gives you a lot of information. So one thing to keep in mind too, my wife was doing this and it was driving me crazy. I didn't realize she did this at first. She's like, oh my God, we got tons of we got tons of people that opened this like 100 times or whatever. And I'm like, what? So I checked, and what she was doing was she was going to the sent folders instead of using because she didn't know how to use the canned responses, even though I showed her how to do it. And she actually went to the sent and then went in here and clicked on the last email every time and just copied and pasted the message she sent. But when you do that, it actually tracks that as being an open. So it would actually pop up right here saying it was open. It was read 2-3 times. So she screwed up all my tracking. That's another reason why I deleted all these emails that were in this account, because a lot of them were inaccurate because of that. So I'm going to show you here. This is one that I sent out a while ago and I kept. Now this one I put the SF or the Craigslist ad in the title, just like this, the URL in the title when I sent it. So this one was sent on November 13th, and then how many times they've been open. So it's been open 4 times. Now I've set this only to track for 5 opens because I don't want to get emails like a year later that they opened it again if I've already talked to them or something. So the way to do that, and I forgot to actually mention that, is it even in here? Upload your image. That's why I forgot to mention it, because normally it was in here where you can actually set that. So maybe that's one of the features of actually signing in. Interesting. Okay. So I guess they don't have a tracking thing on there as far as like what I was saying is that before they used to have a feature on here where you could select I only want it tracked for 5 or 10 opens and that's it. Or I want it for 20 opens or something like that. So I don't know if they have a cutoff now. Maybe they decided to cut it off at 5 or 10 or something. Who knows? It's something I'd have to look into, or maybe you could just look in yourself, but not a big deal. Anyways, so I had it tracked and it showed me 4 opens. So for instance, after you start getting responses, so if I had a list here of let's say 10, 20, 30, 40, 50 opens, and all of them were one time except for maybe 3 of them. 3 of them were open 2 or 3 or 4 or 5 times. I'm going to call those in list of order of how many times they're opened. If one was opened 5 times, I'm going to call them right away. I'm going to be like, hey, this is Dr. Dan. I'm calling, or you say your name. Obviously, don't say Dr. Dan. And I wouldn't even say probably the company name. A lot of times I just say, hey, this is Dr. Dan. I sent you an email with some Google results. I don't know, did you get that? Or I sent you an email sending you, a free image ad, that you could use on Craigslist. Did you ever get that? Now I'm asking, did they ever get that? I didn't say, hey, I know I sent this to you and I know you opened it because I tracked you. No, that's very intrusive. You don't want to come across like, hey, I stopped by your office today and I didn't come in, but I saw you're wearing pink, or saw you're wearing blue, and then yesterday you're wearing green. I mean, it's going to make them feel really uncomfortable and put their guard up. So instead, you just say, I sent you an email with a free blah, 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 or, I sent you an email with some image results that I was getting, and I was just checking to see if you got that. So if more than likely they're probably going to say I never got that email, even though they did and they did open it, or maybe somebody in their office opened it, whatever. But now you can say, well, I did send it to you, and you could check your emails later. But one of the things that the reason I was contacting you is because I actually help. And now you can go through your spiel. I help local businesses get leads and get clients. And I would love to help you out. Here's what I'm offering. Here's what I'm doing. And again, it's going to be different for every single person depending on what it is that you're offering them. So that's pretty much it. I mean, that's the system in a nutshell. And again, if you want to tweak this if you're sending a proposal, then you just do the same thing. You just compose email and you just send out, I had canned responses in my other email account that said, here's what we're going to do for you. And then I'd have a PDF attached. I just attach a PDF with what I'm going to do for them. And whether you require signatures or not, again, I don't know how you run your business. And then I put in the spy pig at the bottom, just like I did. And I just put in obviously a regular subject line because I know who I'm sending it to. And then I would actually just put in their name as well. Or they're obviously putting their email. I was actually trying to think. So in the subject line, when I sent it, I do believe in the subject line, I still put in their name. I put in proposal of what we're going to do for, and then put their name in there. Because when you do get the spy pig notification, you're definitely going to want the title to be distinguished between whoever that person is and somebody else. So if you were sending as a proposal, I would probably put in the proposal right here for your message title. Yeah, I just had to think about that real quick. So here is, my keyboard fell asleep. There we go. Is what we will be doing for you. And then you could put, Joe Williams. Here's what we're going to be doing for you, Joe Williams. Or, you can make it look any way you want. I forgot how I've done it. So Joe Williams, Hey, Joe Williams, here's what we're going to be doing for you. So, I mean, you could do something like that. Write it out any way you want. Completely up to you. I'm not going to tell you how to run your business when it comes to that stuff as well. And then you just do the same thing that I just showed you all through the steps. So hopefully I answered a bunch of your questions already without even you having to ask them. Hopefully that all made sense. And I will be also creating maybe some like frequently asked questions if there's anything that's not really covered. I'll give you a copy of the swipe file, the template that I kind of use. And again, tweak it, make it your own. Don't use my exact one because it's going to be different for every single person that does it. Your results. And depending on who you're targeting as well. Like when I'm targeting painters, when I'm targeting realtors, I use a different kind of an email. It's kind of same, but I use different verbiage and things like that. And yeah, so. And worst case scenario, I mean, if you don't like writing email copy and you just feel lost, I mean, you could just go on Fiverr and you can find somebody on there that writes, that will write you an email for $5. I guarantee it. I mean, you can just find a article writer and just say, hey, would you be willing to write me a quick email, something like that, and then, maybe they'll charge you more than $5, $10, I don't know, but I'm just saying. Or you can go on one of the forums or go on Elance and say, I'm looking for somebody. I'm willing to spend $25. Just, write me like the ultimate email copy. And then you can actually have them do revisions or something like that. Hey guys, I'm back. So it's been a couple hours since we did that recording. I actually think it was maybe like 1 or 2 hours. I don't know. You guys can see the screen. You can see it up there, right? So anyway, so I just thought I'd go into my Gmail account to see if anybody else had opened those emails. Now, I believe we only sent 3 emails, if I remember correctly, possibly 4. I don't remember exactly. So I'm just going to say 3 or 4. So out of those, we've already had one open for 2 of the emails. So this one's for the KCL painting. That's the one we actually were talking about while we were on the video. And yeah, so it's been open 1 time. And apparently, I guess it will only track up to 5 opens. So you remember how we were talking about, saying, before it would like track like 20 or 30 opens if you set it that high. Fortunately, now it stops at 5. And I think, if I get, somebody that opens it 3 times or more, I'm going to, call those people instantly. So right when it shows the 3rd or 4th time that they're looking at it, I'm going to call like right away. So that was that one. And that one we actually went over. And then this is the other one, the renovated ceilings. So this was the other website. I think this one was from Backpage, if I'm not mistaken. And then it took us to their website. Let me double check real quick and see if I can remember. Yeah, I believe that's the one. Yeah, that's the one I think was on Backpage. I don't know. You guys, it's been a couple hours since I watched the video. But yeah, so you can actually see that it's been opened. And it shows that they actually were using Google Chrome. Very cool. And Windows. And that's pretty much it. So you can see that you can start sending out these emails. And I'd probably say do a minimum of 20 to 50 emails a day. I know when we were doing it, we were doing about 100 a day between me and my wife. So I would do 50, she would do 50. Sometimes we kind of mix it up. I actually have a buddy that uses strategy, and he was sending out hundreds. I mean, this was his primary strategy for getting offline clients, and he was very, very successful with doing it. Now, I don't personally like to spend that much time on emails and phone, but that was basically how he ran his business. So again, I mean, for those of you that like to be indoors and don't want to cold call, send out a couple hundred of these. I mean, he sent out, I think he even had like 2 other people that he brought on, and they were using some kind of a system to send out thousands of emails every day or something. But anyways, so, you send out like 50 to 100 a day and just keep doing that. And you can see that these will start to build up, and all of a sudden, they'll open it 2, 3, 4, 5 times and then go through those and just start calling them. But if you're hungry for clients, if it's been open just 1 time, then as soon as you see it being open, call them because you know that they're on their email and checking it. Now, is that a guarantee that you're going to get a hold of them? Is it a guarantee that they're going to want to do business with you just because they opened your email? No, but it's a heck of a lot better than just picking a number out of the phone book or picking a number out of a website and just calling blindly. Instead, now you have that. You have that insider information that somebody at their company had opened that email, whether it was them or somebody else, but somebody has. So that should make you feel better. Plenty of ways, plenty of examples, plenty of ideas. So hopefully that helped. And don't forget to be a rock star in your business and in your life.